All right, folks, that'll about do it. Off for a quick overnighter on the river. Oh yeah, one-handed loading. I love it. My wife's gonna take me down, drop me off at a bridge. I'm gonna head down the river, find myself a campsite for the night. She's gonna pick me back at the next bridge in the morning for a quick micro adventure, kayak camping in October. I love it. All right, so she just finished dropping me off. I've got the boat packed. Heading that way to the water. It's a little low, but just what the doctor ordered. I have no idea where I'm gonna camp. Start heading down river until I find something that looks good. My ride's coming at 11 in the morning. We have a soccer game for Ryan, some other things happening tomorrow. But show you where I'm at. We are at Union Bridge paddle access, about to leave the county. So I forgot how far the next one is, but we'll just start going downstream. I probably camp before the next bridge, but if I pass the bridge, then I'll camp after the bridge. Pretty complicated. I'm gonna send my wife a text to let her know where to pick me up tomorrow. So mission one, get down into the water, start moving downstream, and look for a campsite. Let's go. I already know what I didn't bring. I forgot my rope. This shouldn't be too bad, I hope. Not bad at all, and with minimal plastic left on the grate. Definitely stern heavy. So I think it's been at least a couple years since I've done this particular run, and this may be the lowest I've ever run it. I'm not sure. It's definitely pretty low. But yeah, there's not much happening. There's not much rain. So the Chioa will be running this weekend, but that's about a 5.5 hour drive one way. And my brother-in-law's coming into town. Ryan's got soccer games. Just a lot going on lately. But you know what? I have been having kayaking withdrawals and camping withdrawals. So I just seized an opportunity. So I've been wanting to do something. And I actually pitched the idea to my wife at 4:20 this afternoon. What if you drop me off at the river and pick me up tomorrow? So she obliged and made the drop. This is only about 10 minutes from the house. And I've never camped on this stretch before. So this does bring back memories of my trip all the way to the ocean on this river back in 2014 or 15. It's been a while. Sadly, that was before the GoPro, so I've got nothing but stories. Big bald eagle just took off. But that bridge right there was the beginning of the stretches I had never seen. And at the time, I hadn't done a whole lot of exploring on the Haw. I spent most of my time on the big rivers. Western North Carolina and all the whitewater stuff, but I always wanted to do this river all the way to the coast. So I had done a lot of the stretches above that bridge and the stretch that ends at that bridge, which is Sex-Baja to Union Bridge. But below here, this was all brand new up until the lower haul, and then it was all brand new again after that. And fabulous trip. Again, sadly, it was before the GoPro, and I told my wife all the stories, and she's the one that actually bought me my first GoPro and said, if you're gonna be doing these trips, you should at least record them so we can see what you're doing. So I have her to blame for the GoPro, and now we got all this River Kings channel fun going on. But yeah, it all started with my wife buying me a GoPro so that I wouldn't just have to tell the stories, I could show her what I was doing. So thanks, babe. You can start to see the first hints of fall there in the foliage. It's on the way. I think fall is my favorite time of year. The name of the game today is going to be find enough water to get through. It's going to be tight, shallow. None of it looks great. There we go. So right back there where that camp was, there's a creek that comes in, and I can't remember the name of that creek. I wish I did. But where I started at Sex-Baja, that was the first break I took, and actually I was just needing to adjust a couple things, and I was a little hungry. And I got out this loaf of bread that my wife had packed and given to me right before the trip, and said, here, take this loaf of bread. And I was like, okay. And I had it behind the seat. And she had started making this Amish friendship bread at the time. And she got the starter from a woman whose house we built, little old nice lady. And she just hooked Tron up with that starter and said, there, start making bread. And so Tron did, and that was kind of the first loaf, and I wasn't prepared for what I was about to sink my teeth into. And I really was just gonna eat the bread before it got soggy somehow in the back of that boat. And I think I ate half the loaf right there at that creek. It was so good. And I've had a friend once that predicted that I would die a fat man because my wife's cooking is so good. So it's true. I'm getting fatter and the cooking is that good. But that bread, there was no loaf left. I finished the whole loaf before the end of the day. It was just amazing. So good memories, and I had forgotten all about that until just now when I passed that camp. I was like, oh yeah, that was the first time I ate that bread. And coincidentally, she's making bread again. And so about every 4 days, she'll bake 2 or 3 loaves and give it away. So if you need some amazing, made from scratch, like make you fat bread, let me know, maybe I can get a loaf to you. If you're in the area, you want some of the bread, let me know. I'll see if I can arrange it. It's so good. I'm hungry now just thinking about it. And I don't have any of the bread. Messed up. There was a loaf at home and I forgot to grab it. So here we are at another little rapid. Normally I go down that channel, but there's normally also a little more water. So we'll explore it and see if we can find a way through. I've only been down this run about 3 or 4 times ever, I believe. And it's always fun because you can kind of rediscover it. And when the river's really low like this, it's more engaging as you pick your way through these little boulder gardens. somewhere up around one of these turns is the beginning of the big Boulder Garden maze and the crazy ledge. So we're at a Boulder Garden, and it's not the one I'm talking about. And this one actually is pretty fun when the water's up. But today it's going to be quite the challenge to get through, so pull my little skeg up here and hope for the best. Really, you're just trying to piece together little stretches of water that can get you through, and to me it looks the best right over here, as long as I can connect it to the next one. I love a Boulder Garden. Oh yeah, no problems. Oh, look at the sun on those trees. That's pretty. This is just a fabulous evening paddle. Another beautiful sunset behind me. For a minute there was some sun on the trees. You can kind of still just see it where that evening sun's trying to poke out back there. But this is one of the prettier stretches on the river. And looking at the viewfinder, that just does not do it justice. But it kind of opens up. You can see the water dropping, all the boulders, the far hills. Just a little bit of autumn color under that sunset. Oh, whew, this is why you do it. So yeah, this is just a little stretch of river here right near the house. I don't get on often, but man, is it pretty in here. All those, it's kind of like dirt lined rocks. Makes for a neat contrast. Whew, it's gonna be shallow. See if we can find a way through here. Some flow over here. I think we can make that. There's a deer, a buck. Look at that. He's hurt. No, he's fine. Oh, another buck. Oh, he's a better one. Look at that guy. Hey, buddy. Drag. Don't drag. Oh, nothing. Nothing. A little bit closer, let me get. Sure is pretty, folks. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Ooh, there's usually a little more water than this, but I'm sure we can find a way down. Oh man. Kind of straight off, maybe the best. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for it. bumpy. Isn't that pretty? Look at this boulder garden ledge. It kind of starts on the left, starts creeping across to the right, and it tries to funnel you all the way to the right here. And you'll see what I'm talking about, because the river turns left and it just becomes just a wall of boulders. So this would have been better to hit with maybe a little more light, but you get what you get sometimes when you're camping. And let's see if we can pick our way through it in the waning light of sunset. So much fun out here. It has been super peaceful this evening. The buck was really cool. There were several deer there, a couple bucks, but that one good one with the good shot there, that's about as close as I've been to a deer while in the kayak that was still alive and well. Here's the back side of the island. Not much happening, and they've since cut all the trees on the other side, and they look like they're replanted in pines. So that's different from the last time I've been here. So not the best camping. I hear a bunch of geese coming somewhere behind me. But this is the ledge I'm talking about. It starts over here on the left, and for probably about at least a quarter mile to maybe half a mile, this rock ledge just keeps encroaching a little bit more into your path, and it starts funneling you all the way down to the right, but the river turns left at about that time, and so it's tricky. You may not want to be all the way right. Here come all the geese. There's a pile of them too. I'm losing light. I'm gonna keep paddling. Look at that. I'm looking too, guys. I'm really getting funneled to the right now. Oh, there's a little slot. I'm just gonna keep going right and see if there's a place to camp up here. It looks kind of like a right channel behind an island. Hopefully I'll find two trees right here. Oh, that point looks pretty good. I have a feeling I can make that work. I'm gonna check this out. So I've got my flashlight on. This is just way too bushy and there's fallen trees right where I need to camp. So I'm gonna sneak along the inside of this island and hope that we find something. Something in the back of my mind tells me I probably should be out in the main flow and not back in the side channel. But I feel like it'd be better to find a camping spot back in here. We do have a little flow, so let's hope for the best. Whew. The water just goes into the rocks. Perhaps I can get under this thing. Oh yeah. Just gotta get over that guy, and then I'm set. Oh, totally worth it. Totally worth it. I don't think I'm going the right way. I can get through there. Well, I am back on the main flow here. I'm looking around like I can see, but I got a flashlight in my face and I can't see anything. But we went through all the braids and I kind of got sucked into that right side in hopes of finding camping. And it almost worked out and it just didn't quite. And I've spent the last probably at least 45 minutes just wheelchairing over rocks, trying to find my way back to some floatable water, in a desperate, stubborn attempt not to get out of the kayak. I don't know why, I'm just stubborn that way. But I've made it. I'm getting close to some little rapid behind me, and I'm back in better flow. Still haven't found a camping spot, so let me turn around, navigate this rapid, and hopefully find something to put a hammock in. And whew, it's fun. Don't let anybody tell you it's no fun. Even when this is how it works out, it's the adventure. It's a ton of fun, so I'm having a ball. So this to my left is one of the big islands, I'm pretty sure. And I'm hoping where this island terminates, it'll offer a couple trees. That'd be great. Well, it looked good for just half a second, but it's not good. So onward we go. Here's some islands coming back together here. The river channel. Ooh, looks like a creek coming in. All right, folks, I found a nice spot right on top of this 5 or 6 foot bank, maybe 7 feet tall. Little deer trail there, so that's probably gonna be the easiest way up. So I'm gonna pop out, throw my boat up there, and hopefully it'll look fantastic. And I can set up a hammock. It is actually, right now, it is 8:40. So we've been paddling in the dark for almost a couple hours, about a couple hours. And I feel great, but this looks like the best bet. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's gonna be fantastic. Throw that up there. And of course I would have forgotten my rope on this trip. This joker's heavy. Nope, you're not supposed to do that. Dagnabbit. Now my shoes are dirty. Dumb boat. You're supposed to be better trained. Nana would have never done that. Trust you. You're a whitewater boat. You like adventure. There we go. Oh, this will be fantastic. All right, folks, that was adventurous. I am way up in this tributary creek, and I found a nice little hole here. I guess you can't see anything in the viewfinder, but I got the boat up here, so I'm going to set camp up and probably cook a little bit. Get the batteries charging, get on some dry clothes, and then probably just relax for a little bit. Still a little bit early. I hate getting into bed too early, but perfect day. Oh yeah, so I've got my batteries charging, camp table's done, just heated up my water for my chicken and dumplings. Oh yeah, And now, not much left to do under a tarp. I don't know if that shows up at all, just a little bit. Pretty sweet spot. These solo trips are actually pretty cool. Gives you a chance to just kind of relax into your own thoughts and do at your own pace. And if you want to get lost in the braided island chain for 2 hours at night, that's fine too. And and then you got to explore up about a mile up a side creek and find a good camp spot. So really though, that's the perfect adventure. That's kind of what I set out to do. If I had a spot that was a little bit too easy, sometimes that's just boring. Those spots are nice too sometimes, but for me, a lot of times the adventure is getting out there and not knowing anything about where you're going to stay that night and just kind of having to work it out. I just enjoy that, so. Life is always better with a campfire. I don't really need one, but it's a nice companion. I'm not really tired and there's nothing else to do, so keep the skills sharp, feel a little bit of that dry warmth, and think of days when it's going to be a little cooler, when that fire will mean something. And I look forward to that. I love camping when it's a little bit cold outside. That's a pretty good fire. I might have to back the chair up. It's kind of singeing my leg hairs a little bit. Folks, just a little bit chilly this morning. Perfect early fall morning, perfect for camping. Great night's sleep. Lots of sounds and lots of life in this little forest here. Now I'm going to make a little smagichino, have a little breakfast, and then just sit around and enjoy the morning a little bit. I have to be down the next bridge by 10, where my wife's gonna pick me up, so I got a little time to just enjoy. The lasagna was fantastic, and now I've been sipping on my Smagicino. And hopefully this rain will pass. I feel like it's breaking off. It's either gonna set in or it's gonna break off and be beautiful. Either way will be fine, but I would prefer some morning sun. Right on cue, right when I wanted to start moving, the rain broke off. So you can see it's brightening up. I see blue sky in all directions. The temperature came up a bit, and fortunately I did not pull in my time lapse, so maybe there's a chance that'll be something. Normally you'll have seen it already, but it's always fun to talk about it as if it hadn't happened yet, because I don't know what it looks like. Is that confusing? This is my camp. Like I say, it's just a perfect little spot for one person to put a hammock up for the night and get off the river and enjoy just a secluded, nice little hole in the woods. So on all my solo trips, when I'm camping alone, I almost always seek a little more security by coming up these like sod sloughs or little feeder tributaries or anything like this where I can get off the main river, out of eyesight, out of earshot of the main river, where there's going to be more traffic, and I'll come up in here and find a nice secluded little hole. And I actually had to do some wheelchairing and some scooching to get over some really shallow parts of this creek to get here, and so that's going to disallow most people easy access up here. And why do I do that? Not 100% sure, except that the fewer people that know where I am, the happier I am. So, yeah, the security is being somewhere where no one else is going to be. So if you're looking to camp alone and you want to just be the most secure, your social interaction is probably going to be your bigger problem versus your wildlife. You're really not going to have trouble with animals around here. But if you do run into a weirdo, it's going to be because you are camping somewhere where people can find you. So I guess you could say stealth camping, though not really, because I'm not really trying to stealth camp. If I was, I'd be hidden, you know, not right on the side of the river. But it's just a little bit of stealth, and kind of, that's just the way I like to do things. So for what I'm looking for a solo campsite, this is absolutely the best thing I've found since I got on the river. So I'll give this spot an 8.5, and the reason is the 6 or 7 foot vertical bank at the river's edge just knocks it down to a 9. And then there's not a ton of firewood, and there's a little bit of flat spot, just enough for the hammock. But if it was a little more flat right here, I would give it a, you know, a full point there. But I'd take that down another half for just little nitpicky things. So yeah, this is an 8.5, and if I can find an 8.5 every time I'm looking, I'll be the happiest kayak camper on the river for sure. You kind of gotta temper your expectations a little bit. You can't find 10s every night, but this will surely do. So here's my gear. Got my table. I do my cooking. I do my charging on the table. I always put my dry bag just underneath, so I can just get them and pack them again real easy. I forgot my step out mat, and so I used my duffel that I always bring on campouts. That was my step out pad last night. The One Wind quilts, my War Bonnet Blackbird hammock, and my UGQ Winter Dream 13. That is my favorite tarp. I kind of have it slung kind of wide and flat, so it's not as tidy as it sometimes is, but it served the purpose. If there was inclement weather, like real rain and wind coming, that would be strung a lot further down. I've incorporated my paddle to kind of lift that up so I can have a little more view of the morning. So yeah, and to avoid pooling in this area, I weighted one side with one of my dry bags. So that keeps any water from pulling up over your head or somewhere like that. But perfect little camp. Now let me break this down and start sliding into that river and start heading downstream. Perfect. This camp is collapsed, broken down, all packed up, ready to go. The biggest challenge will be just getting into the water, but going down is always better than going up. So I'm going to go right down where I came out, and I think that's probably going to be just the safest, easiest bet. I wish there was a good place to seal launch, but there's just not. I think we're solid now. Ooh, that's gonna itch when it dries out. That's pretty. Nice little creek. I'll have to figure out the name of this creek. It served me well. Now we set our sights back on the Haw River. I was really wanting to camp somewhere in all those islands, but it just didn't work out. But that's the fun of adventuring when you don't have a solid 100% understanding about exactly where you're going to camp. You just got to work it out, and it doesn't always go like you plan, but it is still always fun. This looks like it's probably my best option. though. It's not much water. Scoochies for the wind. There it is. Well, we're here at the bridge, and there it is. Cheers to a fantastic little micro adventure. Oh yeah. I'm Pete with the River Kings. Thanks for watching. There she is, folks.